Hello and welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today I am excited to show you something new that I have never bought before. It is a teacher planner. I homeschool my youngest son. He will be starting third grade, and I've never used a planner because I've only homeschooled him for first and second. He went to kindergarten and school and in public school. And so I just haven't really felt the need because it's just one child I'm homeschooling, and I could keep track by just making notes and such because most of our curriculum lends itself to just following it, and I don't have to make a whole bunch of plans on my own. But this year we were adding in a few more things, and I just wanted to kind of keep track more. There's just more to keep track of. Every grade you move up, there's more subjects and you add in more stuff. So I was just going to keep track. I had mentioned to you guys, in fact, in a little Instagram video. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I highly recommend it. I post there usually at least once a day, if not more. I would love for you to join me there on Instagram. It's the only social media I post on. It's at amandasfavorites is my handle name. I was going to use this academic Inkwell Press planner, and I posted on Instagram about this. Let's see. And I even penciled in some weeks, well, penned in, if you want to say it, to see kind of how that would roll. I started penning in some weeks, and of course I wouldn't use Saturday and Sunday, but I thought, well, I already have this planner that my sister gifted to me when she figured out she didn't want to use it. And so this would actually work. I could definitely see how I could make this work and keep track of everything. So I won't even lie that this would actually work. And who knows, I may see that I prefer something smaller over this. But since I'm running this planner channel and I had a 20% off, and I was already ordering my life planner, if I ordered them together, I had free shipping. And so I have always wanted to try a teacher planner. I actually taught school for 3 years before I stayed home with my kids. I taught elementary school, and Erin Condren wasn't even out then. I know that sounds weird, but I started staying home when I had my oldest son, and he is about to turn 14. So yeah, Erin Condren wasn't around 14 years ago. There were like no teacher planners like this. You could buy some, blank teacher planners at the teaching stores where we bought some supplies and stuff, but that was about it. Our schools would give us some little blank planners, and there wasn't even a lot online to use or anything at that time. I know, but it was like 14 years ago was my last year, or 15. And then if you count back from that, it was like 18 years ago when it was my first year teaching. So there wasn't a lot of what there is today. So the teacher in me just, wants to try a teacher planner. I know Plum Paper makes a good teacher planner too, and I've seen all those on review videos. You guys have seen my Plum Paper review videos and know that I have used Plum Paper in the past, but it's just not grabbing me right now. And so I really want to try an Erin Condren. Okay, I've got this squeezed in my board because my board is only so big, and I usually don't have a planner this big. This is a full-size 8.5 by 11 planner. So if you compare that to your 7 by 9 and you line up the coils, there is a big difference in size. I'm telling you guys, it may not look that big on tape, but it's a big difference when you're like holding them and carrying them around. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I question about if I'm going to like in this planner, but like I said, I am just trying it this year. I may find out that I prefer just using a 7 by 9 and wasting the weekend days because I don't need that much room. And so that might be what I prefer. But we're going to try this because I was so excited. And you can put any cover on it. But me being a former teacher and me needing inspiration and just to be inspired during the year to feel like I am teaching and I have to devote myself to that several hours a day. So I liked this cover because it motivated me and made me feel like a teacher again. And I liked putting his name on the cover instead of mine because it's for him that I'm doing all this. and third grade, just to remember what year this was from. I just thought it was really fun. So anyway, it's our 2017-2018 school year. So I put that on there too. Okay, so the teacher planner, you get the same dashboard. I don't know if I fill anything in here, it will be probably in Sharpie, something that stays like permanent the whole year. I might outline like all our days off school, because we like those to look forward to, because we definitely go on our school district schedule, because my older son is in public school and always has been. He's going into 8th grade, and so we follow the public school schedule exactly, and that just makes all the organization so easy too. So you get her beautiful new 80-pound paper, the same that's in the Life Planner, and her beautiful painted petals design. And I love her teaching quotes in here, because whether you are a teacher in a public school, private school, or you're a homeschool mom, you need motivation, because teaching kids is not the easiest of jobs. You need patience and motivation, and to remind you why you're doing it. So I like her quotes in here. I don't know if I will use this page for anything. Who knows? I might scribble like websites that we come across that we want to use. But other than that, I may not be using that page for anything. Classroom events and volunteers, of course, I'm really not going to use that for anything. I might use these boxes as like field trip ideas. And then if we take the field trip, I might put the date and what we did. I don't know. Those are just kind of things that are swirling around in my head. Definitely don't need the substitute page. And I've heard all the teachers say on their videos, and I 100% agree. Why in the world would you leave your planner for your substitute? Yeah, you wouldn't do that. You would not leave your personal planner. Substitute, sometimes you don't want them in your personal planner. Not anything bad towards substitutes. I subbed too when I was done student teaching and waiting for the year to end before I got a job the next year. But substitutes are needed. Just, we're not going to leave our personal planners for them. Okay, communication log. Of course, I don't see myself needing to use this for anything, but I think I will find a use for it. Like, I might list all the books we've read or all the books he's read, something like that. So I might use it for some kind of reading log instead of communication log. Okay, so here's all your months outlined. And this planner starts, though, in August. But they just give you the 12 months laid out in order. So you would be starting right here and kind of working your way backwards through them. I don't know what I'm going to use this page yet for, but I will use it for something. I keep saying that about everything, don't I? Basically, this is just for me to play around with this year. And I mean, I do often think this book is too big for me, because even if I laid out on the dining room table, I'll show you how the pages are laid out. You have to have it laid out to see the whole day. That's what I don't like about it. It's not vertical, so you can't just have one side or the other. If it was one side or the other, I would say 8.5 by 11 is completely great to give me more room to write in. But we'll get into that in the back. I might just end up writing, like, if we're doing any fun studies in the month, like kind of deviating from the curriculum, just something fun that goes with the seasons. Or I might end up writing any field trips we go on, or just stuff like that. It may document after the fact, like kind of what were the fun or important things we did in that month. So, all right, the absentee log. I actually thought that this would be used more for my older son, because I would always scribble it in my calendar somewhere if he had to miss school for being sick, and like why, just so I could keep track if, like how many days he's missed it in. But last year, I think he only missed like 1 day the whole year. So he does not like to miss. He only missed when he had strep, and he missed the required 24 hours before the antibiotics started to work. Because unless it's something he has to stay home for, he feels like he gets so far behind, he does not want to miss. And my younger son, I would record like days that maybe we can't do school because of illness, but he didn't have 1 day last year, because when you just have a cold or sore throat or a cough, you can pretty much still get through all your schoolwork at home. So we didn't have any days in the past 2 school years that we actually had to like cancel his school and call it sick. So then you get, and I love how everything's tabbed so you can find it easily. Then you get graph paper. And I love this because some teachers might want to draw out the floor plan of their classroom and where they're going to put tables and furnitures for seating charts and such like that. They can track other things like assessments on here. There's so much you can do with a graph page. Um, I'm writing some vocabulary words that my older son loves to tell me a word for the day right now. He just got into this when I got this planner, and I thought, well, he's trying to teach me a word for the day. And so I could write them down, and me and my younger son can make sure that we learn those during the school year. So it's just extension of learning. So that might be our vocabulary pages. And then I just started taking notes on some stuff I wanted to teach this year, first person, second person, third person. So I'm just using the note pages like that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 graph, and then 2 lined. And then you get into your August. So she's made this in the same format that she's using in her life planners. I will grab one of those and show you in August. How about that? She's using it. It's just bigger. So there's her life planner. It's bigger, and I actually love how it comes down and says August. So I don't just have to remember that like yellow's August or look at the next page. And then I love how down here, so it's different because she does add in these other things. I love these dates to remember because a lot of them just have to do with like authors' birthdays, or like there's Francis Scott Key's birthday, Book Lovers Day. So just some different fun days. If you want to bring them up in schooling, you can. And that's just kind of fun to have them on there. I actually really wish they were printed in the calendar, and we'll talk about how you have to number your own calendar in a minute. And that's one big disadvantage to me that I don't like about this. And then you can write in birthdays for the month. And I'm not sure what I'll keep track of on here, but I like to make sure we like at least bake once every month together or cook something, do something in nature together, play some games together, do stuff besides just school learning. So I might keep track of that. Okay, now getting into your months. In this planner, you have all your 12 months. It starts in August and ends in July. And you have all your 12 months up front, okay? Because then all your lesson planning is behind that. I do not mind having all the 12 months up front at all. I don't mind that. Although I really think if I could choose, I would like the lesson plans inserted behind each month. If I could choose, I would like that. But one thing I really don't like is you have to number your own months, which I don't like because she's leaving it open that you could use it this year or next year. I guess for planners that don't sell. So that's why you have an August 2017 and an August 2018 calendar on here, down here. But I don't like that I have to number my own because I paid so much for this. My Passion Planner, I actually like the undated for many reasons, and I've mentioned all that in my Passion Planner videos. And Passion Planners are much, much cheaper than this. And also you're picking the undated. You could pick the dated for the same price. So, but for her, I don't know why she does not do these in dated. I prefer, if I'm paying this much money, I want to have my calendars already dated by her, like the life planner. And I like how she already has the moon phases on the life planner and how she writes holidays. This month doesn't have any holidays, but let's see. Does September have any? Yeah, I mean, she has her holidays written in there, and autumn begins and Labor Day, and she'll have, your clocks fall back, time change. I like how all that's written on the calendar for me already and it's dated. I don't want to have to go through and write that. Since I won't be using this big calendar for much, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to go in and write all those dates in, like all the little holidays and stuff, because I'll just be using my planner to tell that. For this, I'm just going to write what week we're on in school because that's big to keep track of. I do love how the boxes are so big. I love that. I love all the space, but I wish it was dated for me. Okay, It comes with the colorful date stickers though, that match each month's color. I did try out 2 to stick on. I pretty much knew that I probably wouldn't like them, but I tried it. I don't like them because number one, the number is teeny tiny. I don't like the way the circle looks. If it's going to be undated, I wish there was no circle. So if you write in your date, you don't have that circle getting in your way. And if people want to put the circle stickers on, then I guess they won't have a guide. I don't know. I really think she should offer it in dated. But I prefer just to write the numbers in. Like I said, I don't like the way the circles look. And also, for me to get them all on straight, I would need like some little tool. It would take me forever. And I just am not that type of patient perfectionist person. So all my numbers would end up being crooked, and it looks messy to me to have all these crooked dot stickers all over. It doesn't look like how a planner that costs that much should look. That's just my opinion on it. In between every month, you have 2 note pages, okay? And then you go straight into the next month. So then you have your September page with all your dates to remember and your September quote. I do love how they're all teaching quotes in here. It's not the same as with your life planner. And then you go into September, where I tried numbering it with a colored marker to match to see if I liked that better. And so, like I said, mainly I'm going to mark the no school days, any big birthdays in our family, and then what week of school we're on. That's all I've marked so far, at least. I might come in and do more. Then you have your note pages, and you have and like I said, you have fun birthdays like Stephen Kellogg's birthday, the Statue of Liberty's birthday. So I really like that those are listed there. Of course, you could try to go look up all these things, but I mean, what are you going to look up? Like important school birthdays or something? Like, I like how that's done. Another thing is, since it's not dated and she doesn't know which year you're going to use it, but that doesn't make sense to me because they make a new one every year. So I wish they were dated once again. She'll write like Columbus Day is the second Monday in October. So you just have to go and write that in, type of thing. Like I said, I haven't even written in Columbus Day, but I did write we don't have any school. So I'm just writing in my numbers and my weeks. I like to know like when we have a 4-day weekend, because that really changes like our flow of everything. So love those 4-day weekends, but I like to note when we have them. And then you just have your note pages in between every month. And you have your months. Learning is a treasure that follows you forever. And you have the same colors that are in your life planner this year. So the next month, same colors in the life planner. So you get the point of the month flow. So I don't think we need to go through all the months. Let's skip here and go into where I put the ruler so I can turn really quick to the week I'm on, or this is the first week of school. So I'm just playing around with it. Let's look at the main layout. And let me tell you what for homeschool I like and maybe I don't like. I can't speak to how it works being a teacher in school because, like I said, I haven't taught for like 15 years and I never got to use one of these cool fancy planners when I taught. So I can't speak to that. I can only speak how it is to homeschool one child with this. Okay, and I haven't even used it for a year, so I can't speak to that. But I will do other videos and update you guys throughout the year. So I do like how I don't mind writing my date in here. Of course, I would love more if it's pre-printed, but I understand some people we can't have these days pre-printed because you have different spring breaks, fall breaks, Thanksgiving breaks, Christmas breaks, and that would be a waste of paper to have like a whole week on your break. So even if she numbered these calendars, which would be absolutely awesome and I would love, I completely understand why this needs to be blank. You have to fill it in by which weeks you have in school. And I just already wrote first week done because that first week is hard for all of us to go back. So I just like motivation. Okay, her flow goes horizontally. One thing I don't like about that is, like I said, I have to have the entire book open to see our entire Monday lineup. Or, I mean, of course, I can be like, the morning time, and then later, so I can flip it like this. But if I want to look at my entire Monday, I'm going to have it open on the table, and it's big. So if it was done vertically, then I would just be able to have, like, if this was my Monday, I would only have 5 subjects, though. I get that. So that's the problem. But if that was my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then, I don't know what you would do with this. So, I mean, I can't tell you a better way to do it. If you need to have 7 subjects, then it's going to have to be done horizontally. But just that's one of the drawbacks for me, at least. And I think, but don't quote me on this, but go check if you're interested. I think Plum Paper has a teacher planner that actually is done vertically. I believe they do. So anyway, but I love the Erin Condren colors and paper and setup, and that's what I wanted to try this year. So I just kind of put our subjects in where I think we're going to start our order for next year. Of course, that's the nice thing about filling in each week as you go. I have not filled in the second week because we'll see how that goes and then decide what we want to do. I do like how each day has a color, so I can easily look and I can see how I think that I'll get Monday associated with pink, Tuesday associated with green. And so hopefully it won't take much for me to like glance at it. Like the color will get in my head. I like the room for the big date and how the slash is already there. And I love how there's a lot of space lined here to write out whatever you want for that day, like your headline for the day or any big thing that's happening that day. I love that. So I'm basically going to use it to plan out what lesson we're on and then kind of like what we did or how it went or something. Or if you had a really hard time with math that day, I might say, rework on whatever. Just take notes there for myself. And like I said, I will report back when I start to use it. Now here, like I said, I haven't even decided how I'm distributing the subjects because we don't do like history and science every day. We rotate. If we're going to do it in the same semester, we do like 2 days history, 2 days science. Or I've divided up semesters before where one semester we focus more on history and we do that almost every day and get that curriculum done. Then another semester we focus more on science and we do that almost every day or 4 days a week. And then we get that curriculum done in the second semester. So I haven't decided how it's going to go this year because we're starting with some new curriculum that I haven't used before. We're adding some in. So we'll see. But this is for cursive, extra math, and typing. And so that's just kind of a check off, like a check if he did it that day. I don't really need to keep up too much with it. The cursive book just goes along and we don't do cursive every day. I'd say like 3 days a week because he started it in first grade. So he's already pretty proficient at that. So those are just a check-offs, and I imagine those just going down in columns. Like that'll just be a check-off. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to use a full box for that check-off or what I wanted to do, so that's an experiment too. Now I have not filled in any other subjects, but I have numbered my weeks. Week 2, I love how there's room for that because that's really important what week you're on. Because that's kind of how we view the school year. My older son, they go in 6 weeks. Once you get to middle school and high school in our school district. So that's how we go. We view it in 6 weeks increments. Now, if my younger son was in elementary in our district, when my older son was there, they view it in 9-week increments, which I would hate if we're all on different increments, and 9 weeks is just so much longer. We don't need to do that. So for our homeschool, we go on the 6-week increments with my older son so we can all be together. Okay, so like when we have a day off school, I've definitely already marked it off school and marked there's a 4-day school week because that I need to see like big because that changes our plans having a 4-day school week because we usually go lighter on Fridays, a little bit lighter. That's our lighter day. And so if I have to do any errands and stuff like that, I usually move them to Fridays. And so we have less school that day and yeah, but when there's a 4-day week, we can't go lighter on Fridays. So everything is bumped forward and we don't get as much work done because it's a 4-day week. Although we almost do get as much work done since we usually go lighter on Fridays. But So I've already got that in. And just, I did write in a few of the people's birthdays that we might want to talk about in school, just to remind myself, because if it's not like on this weekly thing, I don't see myself going back and looking at the big calendar a lot. So that's why I said I don't see myself using the big calendar a lot. I see myself using these pages a lot. So I want to note like big things like autumn begins on this day, just because I just love to note those things, even though in Texas it'll still be hotter than 80s at that time. But we can't help that. And then like Johnny Appleseed's birthday. I mean, I've mentioned Johnny Appleseed before. I don't think we've even read a story about him. So maybe that day we just look him up or something. So it's just something fun to add in a little bit more learning. And I love to mark when the end of the first 6 weeks is, because end of every 6 weeks is kind of like celebration day. My older son gets his report cards are out, and we can just celebrate. We've done 6 more weeks of school. Then, like down here, I marked no school this day. It's a 4-day week, so I can see that. No school, I like to write in they have staff development. And I noted a 4-day weekend, so I could know that, and no school on Monday. So that kind of reminds me for planning the next week. And then stuff that we're going to study that's not necessarily in our curriculum right then, but like every year I kind of like to go over the holidays that are coming up. Like, so study Christopher Columbus a little bit before Columbus Day. Because every year you're just adding on to the prior knowledge. You know, you learned a teeny bit about Christopher Columbus in first grade. You learn a little bit more in second grade. You review, and you learn a little bit more in third. You're just adding on to your knowledge. So I like to keep adding on to those days. And just things like Fire Prevention Week, I just threw stickies in there. I don't know if we will necessarily study anything about that week, but if we want to throw something in that week, if it fits, then that's kind of good that it goes along with when everybody else is studying fire prevention. And just, you know, Columbus Day, 4-day school week, no school. I kind of like how I've drawn the arrow out all day so I can, it's a big visual. I'm very visual. So I think I'll go back to all the days off school and definitely draw those arrows. I was using a Papermate Flare pen for all my black in here. And then I switched to a Faber-Castell. I'm sure I'm not even saying that right. I'm sorry I don't have my pens in here. So that's what all my black is written with in here. And so, yeah, so we're just going on, and that's going to be the flow of it. And so, like I said, I have, you know, United Nations Day, Stevens Kellogg's birthday, Statue of Liberty's birthday. We actually studied the Statue of Liberty this last year because we read the Who Was or What Was history books. We read Who Was the Statue of Liberty, or no, What Was, sorry. What Was the Statue of Liberty? And I learned a ton, just like I always do with those. I love those Who Was and What Was little history books. They're so affordable, and we both pretty much enjoy them. And they teach you so much about history. I never knew stuff about that. And my sister went to New York this last year and got to visit the Statue of Liberty. So that was kind of fun learning about it the same year that they actually went there. And we got to see pictures of them there and stuff. So it's always fun when you have a connection like that. And then, you know, Halloween. Who knows? We'll probably go a little bit light on that day, but we'll get all our school done. We just might do less of the heavyweight stuff or something. But we'll do all our school because school is in session in the district that day, and we got to get ours done too. So, but that's pretty much it. I know the end of the 6 weeks, what week we're on, and then I will definitely keep you guys updated on how this is working for me, for sure. And then like last day before Thanksgiving break, I remind myself, not like I would forget. And like if I want to go over some of our Thanksgiving books and Thanksgiving research, which we did a lot into last year extensively, and I don't know that we're going to go that extensively into it this year. We'll see. I don't know, but we probably won't go that extensive again 2 years in a row because we did a couple week study. But anyway, those sticky notes are just to remind me. All right. So let's go beyond. So you get, I think she gives you 40 weeks. Let me see. I have already gone through the end of school, and we only have 37 weeks of school in our district. If we don't count the weeks when we have full weeks off, we have a full week off for Thanksgiving, we have 2 full weeks off for Christmas, and we have 1 full week off for spring break. I don't count any of those weeks. So in our district, we have 37 weeks of school. So 38, 39, 40. Yes, so she gives you 40 weeks. So you have some extra weeks in there because most school districts probably aren't that long. Then you have a tab for checklists. I don't know what I'll use this page for. I can see how it would be useful in a classroom, but you can also fold or cut along this line. So, you can fold this next list if you don't want to rewrite the names and you need more. Again, if I didn't use the list at the beginning for like books we read, we could use this for a book list, or a list of what he listens to it on Audible in his free time. He loves to listen to Audible in his free time and at night. And we've never kept a list of that before, but he flies through books. So that might be fun to keep track of it. Oh yeah, I did think about using one of these pages. So she gives you a lot of these lists. Let's see how many pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these checklists. And then I just decided, because I'm always a mess at keeping track of this in my planner, but this is a really good laid out list already. I thought I would try and see if this works. So this is for my household. This has nothing to do with school. But I used the last list so I could keep track of when I washed my sheets, when I washed my son's sheets, when I mopped downstairs, when I mopped upstairs, when I cleaned my bathroom, the boys' bathroom, the half bath, just so I can always know, because sometimes I write it down and then other times I'm like, oh, when's the last time I mopped the kitchen? I can't remember. And so I think I will just stick the date in here, like put 8/19 or something. And then I can go along and see that. And I'll probably never show you guys that again once it starts getting filled in, because I would be way too embarrassed of how often I don't do that. But that's to help me keep track. Anyway, I thought that would be a good use for me on that. A good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. But hopefully we don't consume all ourselves. We have to take time for ourselves. Okay, so you have a pocket here, which I tore out her sticker sheets that came with this and stuck them in the pocket because I can never use them when they're hooked in here. Love her pocket. This pocket, I'm not sure how well they would stay in because it's so short. Yeah, and it doesn't even let them go all the way down, because like this pocket doesn't go the full length of the page here, and it doesn't seem to let things go all the way down, so those can't even go there. This little pocket would definitely have to be for smaller papers, which I wish she did another big pocket, because even though this pocket is prettier, I absolutely love it. It's rose gold on navy, which is like possibly my favorite combo ever, because navy and gold, but navy and rose gold might even be better. I love that, but it's just not a very functional pocket to me. So let me show you these sticker pages before we get into the back of the planner. For teachers, it comes with like calculators, stars, the globe, check marks, books, hearts. I forgot the name of that symbol. Sorry, you guys. Exclamation point, IEP meetings, which of course we won't have, being homeschool, her asterisk, and apples. And then it comes with some little note to self, meeting, furloughs, assemblies, testing, reminder, field trip, conferences, type of thing, to-dos, and all these said holidays. They only gave you that many holidays, and I used all those up. And then she gives you the same, but a bigger sheet that comes with these little flag stickers, the same that come with your life planner, but she's added in navy. Then you get these really cool rose gold. They're really pretty, and I've used a few of them. These are awesome. Little coffee cups or hot cocoa cups. What were in between there? Birthday cakes were in between there. I used all those up. Some flags, some paper clips, light bulbs, pencils. I like those. I can see myself using those on my son's papers, and he would actually like them because they're pretty cool and different. And just some circles, some squares. I love these little notebook papers. Some little flags, apples, which I really like. Because, I mean, I know it's so cliche, apples, teachers, but I don't know, I like the cliche stuff. And then these cool little speech boxes and flags. So the rose gold ones are the prettiest for sure. And the gold are on there too. And then you have these, which also come with your life planner, but she added in a navy blue, so you get more. These come with your life planner also, just those little fill-in stickers. Those are helpful to me if you want to label holidays and such with them and not just write on the page, or a way to remember something. Okay, the teacher planner comes with this one, what do you call it? Oh, I've lost my head with this video today. It comes with this one page protector. It's very thick. It's thicker than a normal page protector. I stuck our school district calendar in here with the holidays and stuff because I thought that would be most helpful to have in here. And I could put something in the back if I wanted. It's really thick though. And if I ever ordered a teacher planner again, you can add a few more on. I can't remember up to how many, up to 3 maybe 4. I think it might only be 3. But I would actually add them on maybe next time because this is one of my favorite things. I wish they had one in the front actually too, because I would actually like to have my school calendar up there. But I could see this being helpful and me possibly using it for more things like pages that come with this curriculum or something like that. So I doubt I'll use the back dashboard for anything just because I usually just don't reference the back of my planner a lot. And so that's what it comes with. You can add extra note pages, I believe, or maybe it's just checklists. I think you can add extra checklists into this up to a certain amount. Maybe it was blank note pages too. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But you can definitely add extra of the page protectors, which they're really thick. Like I said, thicker than normal page protectors. Really well made. So that is my whole Erin Condren 2017-2018 teacher planner that starts in August and goes through July of the next year. I am excited to use it and to update on you guys on it after a few months and see how it's going. See if I completely don't need anything this big with that much room, which might be the case, or if I do. I just wanted to mention I did stick with the silver spiral because I was not going to add extra money onto this planner. I tested the gold spiral because I wanted to see on my life planner if it was worth the extra money, which I told you guys in my life planner video. So we'll see at the end of the year what I think. But definitely on my teacher planner, I don't think I would pay for that unless my cover just really maybe would look so much better with gold. But I am totally fine with the silver. So, and this teacher planner has actually no trouble turning. It turns really well and it folds really well and it sits really well. I was talking about in my life planner video how this one has some trouble turning. It seems at sometimes, of course, it probably won't do it on here, but like that. And I have to kind of push it like it doesn't just flop because I think we have a little crookedness going on here. And which isn't going on in my other Erin Condren that's horizontal that I journal in. I don't have that problem. So out of my 3 Erin Condrens that I have right now, this is the only one that has that problem. And it's my only one with gold coils too. But this life planner coil is perfectly lined up and everything slides perfectly. I meant teacher planner, sorry. Okay, thanks for sticking with me for this long, detailed review. I hope it helps someone to possibly make a decision if they were looking at Erin Condren and comparing them with any other ones. And that's it for today, guys. I will see you next time. Have a great day.